So, I've been farming for quite a few years, and over that time, I've gained my fair share of experience in the matter. And I can tell you one thing, farming is not for the faint-hearted. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you my experience, and I'll tell you why you need to be really bold-hearted for you to go into farming. So please stick around. Hi guys, welcome back to Farm Up with me, Dr. Daniel, the passionate farmer. I'm a very passionate farmer, and I'm excited to share everything to do with farming. So if this is your very first time on the channel, come on, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. That way you never miss out on any of my uploads. Now, just in case you don't understand what I mean by my past pains in the poultry business, I'll share this with you. I'll share a few of the things that have enabled me develop what we call a strong and bold heart in farming. When I started the farm with this structure right here in the background, at that time I had planned, and someone had told me the costs involved in raising the chickens, especially the feed cost. So I go, get my notebook, start writing down, and then I know I'm going to be spending this much on feeds. And at that time, the plan was about 600 Ugandan shillings. That probably equates to about 18 cents if you're American, or for conversion, wherever you are. And so I do my plans, and then by the time I start and bring the chickens in, oh my God, the prices are so different from what I had planned for. At that time, the price had doubled. It was about 40 cents, in fact it had more than doubled, about 40 cents per kilo of maize or corn, depending on wherever you are. And that was the very first big test for me. I had to come from this point of I'm earning a salary, I've planned this much for my birds, and then all of a sudden I need to pay double of what I had planned, and I had to source that money. Guys, I was going days without eating. I was going days without food. I would borrow money from people. I was on tension the entire time because I knew that the birds had to get feed. And by the time the birds get to the point of laying, oh my God, I was exhausted. At some point, I almost gave up. And then I thought my worst days are over. I was thinking, whoa, finally, the eggs are starting to pop, I can start selling the chickens, and I think my worst days are really done, Then came the point of needing to restock the birds. After having all these bad times, I was thinking, now I've gotten the market, I have people who are consistently buying from me. So all I need to do is consistently have the birds, and I'll be sorted. And then that should have been early 2020. I decided to restock the farm again. I had worked on the top floor of this chicken house. I still had birds on the bottom floor, but I had worked on the top floor. So I was thinking, by the time the ones down are done, the top floor will have birds, and then, the cycle will just continue. And then it was chaotic. Guys, I booked birds in June with a particular company, and it got to December, and I didn't have birds. I didn't have chicks. I was looking for them everywhere. The company that I had booked with, I had given them my money. They were not giving me the birds. Then there was bird flu, I believe, in Europe. So you couldn't even get in birds like from the Netherlands or from Belgium. I had to get birds in from Hungary. Then the trip was really terrible. By the time the birds got here, I put them on that top floor. And in the first few days, I think I lost about 300 of the birds. So I got in 1,000 birds, and by the time the first week ended, I've lost about 300 on the birds. You can imagine. Pathetic, painful, terrible. And then that got done. The birds start growing. They reached the point, after they started laying even way earlier than I had imagined. They started laying in the 17th week. So I'm thinking, whoa, I'm a lucky guy. Really lucky. And well, at the point when I thought it couldn't get any worse, COVID-19. So the birds have started laying, I've started getting money in. COVID-19 strikes and lockdown comes. So just all of a sudden, I have lots of eggs that I can't sell. No one is willing to buy the eggs because no one is moving. Number one, no one is making money because they're not working. The country has been locked down. Number two, I can't transport the eggs to another market because, of course, it's difficult to travel. So a lot of the eggs had to go to waste at that moment. But then we get lucky. We get lucky, and the country opens up. The eggs start moving quick. And just when the eggs had started moving and the market had picked up, the birds get sick. They get fall typhoid. They start to die. They start to die. I start losing birds, One day I'm losing 10. The next day I'm losing 20. Another day I'm losing 40. I'm like, what on earth is happening. It was really painful. It was really, really pathetic and painful. Until it reached a point where I just couldn't do it anymore. It just didn't make sense. I had to call the flock. You know, just get someone, they took the birds away. And I had to empty the house, clean it up, disinfect it, and prepare to bring in a new flock of birds. So it's been really, really pathetic. And of course, the other thing was on the bigger farm that we've had. Twice the maize that we planted, lots and lots and lots of acres of maize, you know, 100, sometimes close to 200 acres of maize planted. And a big percentage of it, sometimes even half of it, is destroyed by rain. You know, rain comes and floods the entire area. So if I tell you that I've had my fair share of terrible experiences, come on, you've got to trust me. They are really terrible. But here I am, going strong. So why do I manage to go strong? It's because you've got to be bold and strong-hearted. So here are some of the things that make it really difficult sometimes to do farming. Number one, the market can be very, very volatile. Like I've told you, one time you'll have market, you'll have all the eggs going. You're thinking, I can't keep up with this. You even decide to stock, bring in more birds. The eggs are being sold. And then in just the space of the week, the price of the eggs drops seriously and terribly. I remember at a particular point I was earning about $3 per tray of eggs. That's for every 30 eggs. And then just randomly, suddenly, the price drops to $2 and you're thinking, whoa, this is terrible. Just out of a sudden, you're moving from high profit to simply operating at cost. So you have to be bold and strong for you to go through such seasons, because they end and the good times come. The other thing are the consistently changing feed prices. Now, I know in some countries it's worse than others, but this is something that's happening around the entire world. I've gotten people sending me messages from the US, I've gotten people sending me messages from South America, from Belize, people from Africa, from all parts of Africa, from Asia, telling me that feed prices are obscene in their countries these days. And guys, feed prices are obscene everywhere. I've told you that at some point I was paying about 40 cents for a kilo of maize. Right now, it's even higher than that. You know, I think it's about 60 cents for a kilo of maize in some parts of Uganda. And just a while back, it was way less than that. It was maybe, again, 16 cents. And now it's about 60. You can imagine how volatile the prices change. And if you're not ready for it, you won't stay in the business. For example, right now, why people are paying maybe 50, 60 cents for a kilo of maize, it's too expensive. On the farms, on the big farm, we are consuming lots and lots and lots of feeds. We are probably consuming about 4-5 tons of maize every day. You can imagine. So if the price is that high, it's terrible. Now, we are lucky that for us here in Uganda, we actually get quite some rain. You can see that right here in my compound, we have maize growing. Yeah, this is maize growing. In some countries, it gets really worse. For example, I know in Kenya, they don't grow too much food. They import most of the maize from Uganda. If you go to countries in the southern part of Africa, they probably don't grow as much maize. We are lucky to have 2 seasons of rainfall. So the prices can vary so much, and if you're not ready for them, you'll just get confused and run away. The other thing that can be a problem, especially for people who grow crops, is the unpredictability in terms of weather and the climate. Currently, our seasons are so unpredictable. For example, last year we literally had rain all year. And then this year, we expect our rains usually end of Feb, early March. The rains came in mid-April. People have prepared their gardens, they have planted, and then rain doesn't come. And then rain comes very, very late. A lot of the crops have been destroyed. People have to plant for the second time. So it gets really complicated. Sometimes the rain is too much, like I've told you, on the bigger farm. The place gets flooded. You have the maize destroyed completely. And then on a season like this, for example, this year, the place is not flooded at all. Like the rain is no more, so you're thinking, I wish I had planted maize in this area. And then next year you decide to plant maize in the same area, then it decides to flood. So that unpredictability can also complicate things for you as a farmer. Then the complexity of staffing. Well, this one is not only in farming, because sometimes it can be really difficult to get faithful people, you know, people who work on the farm who you can trust, because lots of them they are lax. They don't want to do the work that they're supposed to do. A lot of them will be stealing from the farm. So it gets again complicated sometimes. So yes, farming is certainly not for the faint-hearted, but there are things that can be done for you to get ahead of these things. Number one, proper planning. If you plan properly, you'll get ahead of a lot of these things. For example, the feed prices going up. Of course, it involves a bit of money, because you need to have capital for you to buy feed and store it for the terrible times. If the prices are really low, buy, store for the terrible times, so that you have something that you can use during the times when things are hard and you don't have maize. Number two, it always gets better. The fluctuations in the prices, the thing is that everyone eats food. That's not something that's going to end. Yeah, so whatever you grow, at some point it will be consumed. The market will always get better. So you just need to be strong, you need to be optimistic, you need to be bold-hearted, you need to be ready to make the strong decisions in order for you to start making money out of farming. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very painful thing for you. So come on, if you're to join farming, you want to start farming, you want to start making money from farming, you've got to get a bold heart. You've got to get very, very strong. You need to be ready to prepare for both the ups and the downs. When the downs come, the birds die, the birds get sick. Come on, don't feel like it's the end of the world. No, keep strong, keep pushing, learn from the things, so that next time you make a better decision, next time you do something better. The bad times are supposed to make us better farmers, they're supposed to make us better people. Ideally, when you go through something really bad, you want to avoid it and prevent it from happening next time. So the bad times, if you learn from them, you'll become a better farmer, and you've got to get bold and strong-hearted, not faint-hearted, for you to become a successful farmer. Thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, that way you never miss out on an upload. Lots of love. Bye-bye.